Fox 40 is your local election headquarters, and your midterm ballot is probably already in your house right now. What you do with it, the choices, of course, up to you. The processes that surround those choices are something the California Voter Foundation pays very close attention to. President and founder Kim Alexander live with me this morning as we count down to Election Day. Good morning to you, Kim.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
First, since we last chatted, you and others like you have really fought for greater security for election officials and workers, had some victories come out of this last legislative session, right?
Yes, we co-sponsored Senate Bill 1131, which was authored by Senator Josh Newman. And this bill allows election workers to enroll in address confidentiality programs to keep their personal information private so that they will not be subjected to doxing or threats or people bothering them or their families at their homes.
Because we really have seen since 2020 people taking their concerns about the election, which may be a legitimate personal concern, but making it very personal to election officials.
Yeah, I mean, what we're seeing happening since 2020 and has really not let up is a small number of people at the national level instilling fear and false information into the public about how the voting process works, often taking a little piece of information and misinterpreting it. And it might be something that is happening in another state that we don't do here in California. And so when folks hear about that through social media and other networks, they take it up with their local election officials and try to get their concerns addressed. And they're not always as kind as they might be about it. And we always encourage people to ask questions, expect transparency and accountability. We all want that in our voting systems, but people need to know that California elections are very secure. We test all the equipment. It's not allowed to be connected to the internet. Paper ballots are required. Post-election audits are required. And people who want to monitor and observe the process are welcome to do so.
That's really good information for people to have. I was going to ask you about this a little bit later, but since you started talking about it just last week, you know, the January 6th commission decided to subpoena former President Trump to query him about issues related to the insurrection. All of that, of course, tied to people who believe the false narrative. Trump's camp put out that the 2020 presidential election was plagued with fraud. None of that has been proven despite reviews in multiple courts. And just over the weekend, in her debate with challenger Marcus Flowers, U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, even at this stage, when asked if Joe Biden was president, said that her husband has evidence of election fraud, suggesting Biden is not the legitimate commander-in-chief. So with those kind of notions still out there, what you're talking about in terms of just repeating to people what sort of things like the audits that we do have in place, very important to emphasize the safety and security of our systems right here, which are systems that are tailored differently in every single state, which is something people need to keep in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Every state is a little bit different. I believe California has the most secure voting system in the country because we do hold it to very high standards. There's a lot of testing that's required, all kinds of different testing of voting systems, and those test reports are on the web. But more importantly, I really want folks to know that we do have a system where we mail everybody a ballot, but there's a lot that happens behind the scenes to make sure that only eligible voters vote and people are only casting one ballot that can get counted. Election officials make sure that the ballot that you get in the mail is coded to you, and they keep track of those ballots as they come in. So even if you're issued a second ballot, there's no way you can vote twice legally, and it will be caught administratively. And if people do attempt to vote twice, which we don't see happening, thankfully, but if they do, there are processes in place to detect that, and you can be prosecuted by your district attorney for attempting to commit election fraud.
Alrighty, now with mail-in ballots at homes right now, how should folks be preparing before they grab that pen and open up that envelope?
Well, you want to open up your envelope right away and take a look at your ballot because it's pretty long. It's 2 pages, 2 sides each, and I just pulled mine out there's a lot of contests here, state and federal and local. So you want to get a handle on what's on the ballot as soon as you can. Start doing your homework. You'll get 2 guides in the mail. I pulled mine out. One's the county guide and looks like this. There's the state guide that has more information about statewide measures and ballot and state candidates, and that looks like this. So you want to get all your materials together, maybe get together with some friends and family members in person or on Zoom, and start digging into it. Look for resources online. You can come to our website at calvoter.org, and we'll help you get started, getting you in touch with reliable, nonpartisan election resources to help you make informed choices.
Alrighty, and that is the most important thing, whatever your choice is, that it is an informed one. And of course, Kim, we can always count on you to help us make that. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you, and I'm sure we'll be checking in again before November 8th gets here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sincere. Great to be here.
Thank you.